Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lookouts. I left off. They're being all cute and in love or whatever. Honestly, I wouldn't even be shocked if this is like the end. If it is the end, then we'll just slide into another video and it'll be fine. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So we beat the gang leaders. I forgot their names. Don't even ask. I don't remember. One of them looks like a vulture, and the other one's like a dog or like a wolf or something. And now they're in the aftermath, being all in love or whatever. So lock in. I don't have my glasses. I was about to start reading and I was like, why am I blind as fuck right now? Oh, you didn't hear that. Anyways. Okay, so the stretch of tension in your back is your head pushed forward. Oh my god, I already need to give up. The stretch of tension in your back is your head pushed forward, had your hand buried in the softness of his feathers, pulling him closer. No, I was right. Those sentences just confused me. Eyes meeting once more, just for a moment. Ah, they're so cute. Yay, they're in love. Honestly, I could have put this on the other video. I'm such a loser. Your faces met. You pressed your lips to the end of his beak, his hot breath on your lips, in your mouth, as yours was in his. Gross. Sorry. Let me stop being a hater. Let me shut the fuck up. You held the kiss there, holding your lips to his, unsure if this is what you were supposed to do. You've never kissed anyone like this before. You hadn't even met anyone like Joseph before either. You just want to be close to him, just like this. Your heart was beating hard in your chest, your cheeks flushed and hot. You heard what sounded like sweeping, realizing it was your tail wagging across the floor. A few more seconds passed before the kiss was broken, and your hand falling from his face to hold onto his arm. Cutie! It's such a cute art style, too. I really love the art style. I like that it's so few colors, but it just expresses so much. It's so cute. You looked at each other with quivering breaths. You could feel the strong rhythm of his heartbeat in your hand. A big, gracious smile appeared across Joseph's face, bro. Crazy. The way I almost called him Groseph. Watch out for Groseph, bruh. Here he comes. You matched it with a more sheepish one, embarrassed still despite everything. Guessing you never kissed someone with a beak before. No, I haven't. Or anyone without one, for that matter. Well, if that really was your first time, I got nothing to complain about. I'd just say it was very, mammal kiss. It was a very mammal kiss. It's crazy. Oh, really now? Do educate me. You just have a lot of lip to it. Birds can't do that so well. You see, we tend to kiss a little differently. Your face warmed even more, your ears burning as he leaned in a little closer, talking softly. Ew! Let me show you. Get away! Demon! One hand came to rest on your leg as he leaned forward, his beak passed flush with your snout. Pressed? Passed? Pressed. Question mark? You closed your eyes and he came closer, the whispers of his breath warm on your face as the tip of his beak gently poked at your cheek. He preened and rubbed his beak through your fur, almost nibbling at you, feeling soft scrapes against your skin. Oh, they do! Yeah, you're right, they do that, actually. Joseph's affections continued against your cheek, the feathers of his face close to your nose, smelling the sweat and tobacco. He nuzzled through the fur of your face a few moments more before rubbing his beak all along your snout as he dipped his head back. Once you opened your eyes again, bemused by Joseph's new kiss, to gaze upon his bashful face. From the flush of his cheeks and the unusual shyness he was trying to shrug off, you felt as though you had been entrusted a secret. Yeah, they cutie, whatever. I think I liked mine better, but I could get used to those too. He slipped an arm around your back, holding you closer as your heart fluttered at the thought of a familiar kiss. I'd be happy to oblige. Joseph really has that, like, southern shit going on. His face beamed with a warm smile, and he leaned forward to rest his head atop yours. You reached your hand across him and grabbed his other hand, pulling it into his lap, keeping you all close like a bundle of sticks. Letting your mind focus on him, feeling his hand squeeze your side firmly, squeezing his other hand back. listening to his breathing, the small shuffles of his clothes, to the faint beat of his chest. Your ear flicked around a little as you heard something else. Some subtle noise you just wanted to ignore, focusing on the warmth of Joseph. Kill them! Kill them! They're ruining our moment. Kill them! I'm playing. Or am I? Kill them! Yeah, I just need to shut up. The fight in the street seemed to be over. No longer could you hear the muffled shots, the pops, or bangs, or cracks that split the air. What you could hear now, though, were the rhythmic thuds, distant and soft, but growing louder by the second. It was footsteps, first at the stairs, but now coming along the landing, coming closer. You sat up sharply, knocking Joseph in the chin a little as you heard one of the doors open and then close. Whoever it was checking the rooms. Joseph sat up and took note of the noises as well, realizing the same as you. Someone was looking for you. Or at least, someone was looking for stragglers. Your hand snapped to your gun and you pulled it from the holster, aiming it square at the door. Get ready for my glicky! For my glicky! You heard more doors open and close. Whoever it was would be here in just a few seconds. The footsteps grew that little bit louder, and you found something familiar within them. There were 4 footsteps, 2 people, but there was another offbeat thump there, out of pace. A 5th footstep? Like a cane? I think it's been a while since I remember the characters. Did one of them have like a cane or something? As the hunters came to the door, you realized what it was, your hand coming down, pointing the gun away. Joseph whispered urgently, "What are you doing?" It wasn't another footstep you heard. It was the thump of a cane. The door swung open with 2 figures standing in the doorway. A moment of uncertainty had you pointing the gun back at their way. You put it away again, though, as, sure enough, you saw who you were expecting. Oh yeah, Sheriff has a cane. And a bunny thing that's super cutie pie. It was Sheriff, along with an unfamiliar man to you. A man unfamiliar to you. I wish I could just read the things as they're said and just stop trying to make up for my mistakes of being a failure. A lanky, serious-looking hare who leaned in, still holding the door handle. Whoa, put that thing away there. We don't mean you any harm. Both of them had rifles slung over their shoulders, and Sheriff's worried face turned to one of relief when your eyes met. And there I was, getting all twisted up and worried about you two. I knew you'd be all right. Sheriff, what are you doing here? I thought everyone went out of town. Well, everyone is, except for us. Oh, I should introduce you. This is Matthew. He stayed behind to help me. Couldn't go with everyone else. I was worried about the town and you boys, so Matthew and I stayed here to help however we could. We were up on the roof shooting as a distraction. I hope it was some help. Wait, that was you? I thought you were supposed to be pacifists. Well, we didn't actually shoot anyone. We just shot near them. Trying to tip the scales in your favor and give them something else to worry about. Looks like that made the saloon a bit of a target, though. Bartholomew's not going to be happy about this mess. I'm sorry, we'll do whatever we can to help. Matthew waved it off cheerily. Don't worry, my husband's a very forgiving man, but the saloon is like his baby. He'll want to know that you're alright, but after that, he's just going to want to fix it up. So this was the husband. You didn't think your first time meeting with him would be like this. Seems like you got banged up pretty bad, too. I don't know if we should have done more. Nah, I think you may have well saved our lives. We knew the danger of what we were doing. Thank you for helping us like that. You didn't have to. Yeah, thanks. We owe you one. I really pull out my, You can't see it because I don't have a face cam. And I'm not going to have one. But I did that fucking man thing. Oh my god. My coworker. Oh my god. My coworkers and friends would know because I do it all the time. I do that, like the man wave where it's like the most lazy fucking wave of all time. I love that shit. It's so funny. I do that every time Joseph talks. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. It's so stupid. Don't mention it. We'll ask for your help when you're better, but right now you need some seeing to. Lucky for you, the doctor's here. Oh, you're the town doctor? Where? You're looking at him. Sorry. Nothing to apologize for. We've already had quite the day. What happened to everyone else? We told them to leave. Their bosses are dead, and we said more people will be back soon, and none of them felt like sticking around. You're safe. Inside yourself, there was a deep sigh of relief, and you didn't realize you'd been holding on to, like you hadn't breathed right for days. You nodded gratefully. Matthew came into the room and started tending to Joseph first, looking over his injuries. He just got scratched in the eye, bruh. I got stabbed. Help me. Help me. You were both hurt and bruised and bloody, but you were safe now. I got stabbed? Hello? You wonder how long it would be until you could believe that. Hey! But why didn't I just stick this on the end? Why didn't I just stick this on the end? I literally said, I'm done. I can't read anymore. But that was so stupid. Sorry, hold on. Thank goodness. So me and my roommate just took bestie pictures for for her mom for Christmas. They look so good. But I literally pulled it up on my phone while I was recording Dispatch, and I was like, there ain't no fucking way I'm gonna be able to take these on my phone because they're gonna be blurry. And then I sent everything to her, and then she sent the pictures back to me, and I said, yeah, and I knew they were gonna be blurry if I tried to fucking do it, because they look good for her. You're not sure if you knew back then or when you realized that you'd carry the scars from that day for the rest of your lives. You and Joseph were put up in separate rooms at the saloon by Bartholomew, who insisted you stay so that Matthew could treat you both. Yeah. The month you spent resting and recovering there was full of sleepless nights. Nightmares came often, some more vivid than others. You often woke early in the morning to find... Who? You often woke early in the morning to find you and your bed sheets drenched in sweat. Some nights you were woken by Joseph shouting, "Damn, yeah, I bet they're scarred for life." Those nights you'd sit up in bed waiting for him to come to your room, crawl in, lying with him until he fell asleep. Other nights, where you'd felt shaken and sick by what you dreamt about, you'd wake him asking if you could sleep in his bed. Neither of you talked much otherwise. You kept to yourselves in your rooms, resting. Doctor's orders. You weren't sure of the benefits, but Matthew brought you medicines occasionally, often some concoction involving whiskey. He joked about the perks of having a bartender for a spouse. The taste was vile to you still, but you found it helped just a little. It was odd, he thought, that the respite of bed rest felt like just as much work as being up and about at the camp. It sometimes felt like resting was the last thing you were doing. As the days rolled by, there did come the point you'd been waiting for, where both of you were feeling fit enough to get up and do something. You still kept the saloon, only seeing a handful of familiar faces at odd times. The saloon was already clean and mostly fixed up by the time you were recovered enough to lend a hand. You felt like you'd missed your opportunity to help out, but Bartholomew assured you that he'd need help when the new windows were to be fitted. He also brought up that neither of you had joined in on the nightly gathering at the saloon. That now you were better, everyone would love to see you. You'd heard the gatherings all those nights you'd been resting. Attendance waxed and waned, but every night the saloon was bustling and merry, full of people enjoying each other's company, singing songs, telling stories. The idea of being in the midst of that crowd put ice in your stomach. Joseph happily agreed to come along to the next gathering, and so did you. You knew, really, that it would be good to be around people. Hell yeah. I love being around people. Now here you were, standing in front of the window in your room, looking out past the vague reflection of your face in the glass. Night had fallen. Lights in the house. Houses down the street snuffed one by one as people left for the saloon. The downstairs filling with the town. Already you could hear the muffled sounds of mingling, chatter, spatters of loud laughs that had grown familiar to you through the walls. You kept looking out the window into the dark desert, knowing that you'd have to move soon, just waiting another second, another minute. You had to go on, leave the room. A short sigh at yourself sent you off, walking across the room to meekly open the door. You pulled it open just a crack. the warmth of the lamplight in the saloon spilling in, and to your surprise, you found Joseph standing there, one hand raised about to knock on your door. He flashed you a little smile, clearly asking if he could come in. Hey! I did the man wave again. You opened it just enough to let him in before closing it, leaning with your shoulder to the door as he stood close to you. Hey! Hi. Your greetings practically stumbled over each other, both clearly antsy, trying to get some words out. Are you ready? You chewed the inside of your cheek a little as you thought. You wanted to be ready. You wanted to go down and see the people who had cared for you. Joseph was here too. It would be fine. I'm not ready either, if it helps. I figure if we dilly-dally about it, though, we'll never be ready. Yeah, you're right. You sighed, and Joseph patted you on the shoulder, a little reassurance to get you going. All right, let's go have a good time. That's the spirit. Joseph followed close behind you as you opened the door wide and stepped out, eyes adjusting from the darkness of your room. People, I hear them. The horses. The horses. That's so cute. He closed the door as you left, and you walked along the landing together, downstairs, looking out over the disparate crowds, whatever. Clemency was a small town, but with so many packed into here, it felt like even the busiest of bars you'd glanced in before. As you neared the bottom of the stairs, you heard a voice call out, "Kay, Joseph, over here." Hell yeah. Love Bartholomew. King, I think, possibly. I can't really remember who that is either. It's fine. I remember Sheriff. Sheriff's like the only one I remember. It's because we met everyone else like once, and then we never met anyone else again. And I know Matthew now, apparently. You looked over the bar and saw Bartholomew waving at you, his arms stuck up high to catch you over the taller patrons milling past. It wasn't just him either, standing at the bar. Were other familiar faces you were happy to see, namely Jacob and Sheriff. Who the fuck is Jacob? You took Joseph's hand and walked through with him, excusing your way past people to the bar. Who the fuck is Jacob? I don't remember that person. I know who that is. That's like the pastor or whatever. I don't know what that word is. Jacob and Sheriff sidled, I think it's sidled, along to make some room between them, a friendly gap for you both to squeeze into. It's good to see you well again, Kay. I found myself rather worried after what happened. I'm glad to see you too, Jacob. I didn't lose another limb, so I think I have nothing to complain about. He gave you a gentle, reassuring smile, seeming genuinely calmed by your jokey reassurance. Sheriff leaned in to address you both. Hell yeah. It's good to see you both in good health, for sure. And you'll be in even better health with a drink down you. Bartholomew? That's what I'm here for. On the house, fellas. What are you drinking? Damn, really? You sure? We've been taking up your rooms and now free drinks? You're really spoiling us. You need something so that we can toast to your good health. Go on, take your pick. Bro, I'll just take a water, TBH. Probably just dehydrated as fuck. Well, I think I'll just stick with a beer. Alrighty, how's about you, Kay? Can you do me a whiskey? You feel Joseph giving you a quizzical look, surprised you'd choose such a hard liquor. Sure thing, let me get those. He turned and busied himself with finding what you'd ordered, and you looked back at Joseph, his face still confused over your choice. What? I've acquired a bit of a taste for it. No, I respect it. Just didn't see it being your kind of thing. I'm full of surprises, huh? Sure are. You felt a little blush rise to your cheeks as he gave you a wry smile. Oh, my fanfiction's coming back to me. My fanfiction's coming back to me. Bartholomew set down a stout tumbler of whiskey alongside with a beer on the counter. You took your drinks as Sheriff started to speak. That's more like it. Now a toast. To Kay and Joseph. You boys pulled off something incredibly brave, and I'm thankful you made it. Hear, hear. You went around clinking glasses with Joseph, Jacob, Sheriff, and Bartholomew before taking a sip of your whiskey. Before it even reached your lips, the smell was burning in your nose and continued to burn as it slipped down your throat. It was a pleasant burn of sorts, though. You weren't sure if that was the way it was meant to be, but you enjoyed it all the same. So, boys, I don't know what your plans are now, but now that you're all fixed up, I thought I'd take the moment to ask if you'd like to stay in Clemency. Hell yeah! I really think you'd fit in here. It's just an invitation, mind you. No need to give me an answer now, but just think about it for me. You and Joseph glanced eyes for a moment, both humbled and blindsided, unsure what to say. Why did the question leave you gripping your glass, fidgeting your thumb over the rim? Wasn't this something you wanted? Thank you, Sheriff. That's a very kind offer. Well, sleep on it, I think. Not a problem. Just a suggestion, really. Don't mind me none. Truth be told, I can't say we have much in the way of plans for now. We've really not thought about what to do next. That was the honest truth. All he'd focused on was getting away from Curly, and out from his shadow. Now you were free. You could do anything, and yet you could think of nothing. A tightness took hold of your chest. If it isn't my favorite patients. Matthew came wandering over to the bar and greeted you both with a beaming smile. Great to see you up and at it. All thanks to you, Doc. You're too kind. I'll drink to that. He took a swig of the beer he held, as did Joseph in kind. I'm setting up a poker game right now, so I thought I'd wander around and see who's game. I'll join in. Alright, I've already got another guy as well, so we just need at least one more person. You able to sneak away from the bar, hun? He spoke past you to Bartholomew, who rolled his eyes. I admire your tenacity, Matthew, but I am not going to join on your poker game, no matter how many times you ask. Alright. Can't blame a man for trying. Joseph caught your eye and gave you a look and asked, Do you mind if I go? To which you just nudged him encouragingly with your elbow. I'm game if you're prepared to lose. Oh, that's fighting talk. I should have known you'd be up for it. Come on, to the table with me. Hey. Joseph gave your arm a gentle squeeze before he grabbed his beer and headed off with Sheriff towards the back of the saloon. You watched him disappear in the throng of people before turning back to the bar, just left with Jacob and Bartholomew. Not a gambler then, Jacob? Oh, heavens no. Not that I have any particular objection, I'm just terrible at it. I have to say my poker face is quite dire. You chuckled at that, certainly seeing how it could be the case. Your eyes turned down to your drink, small talk dying away, staring into the clear liquid that streaked the glass as you rolled it around in your hand. Were you a whiskey drinker now? You couldn't have foreseen that a month ago. Nor could you have foreseen before that you'd meet Joseph, that you'd end up here, having left the gang, Curly gone. Thinking back on it, it felt like you were always going to be under Curly's thumb. What else was there for you? That was going to be your life, until the tides of fate swept you somewhere else. You didn't think you'd ever have a chance like this. Now you have the chance to choose your life. Everything is still just as hazy. What comes next? I know that look. You turn your eyes up to Bartholomew as he puts his elbows on the bar, leaning in with a friendly, knowing demeanor. That's the face of someone with a lot going on in the upstairs. That, or there's something very interesting at the bottom of that glass. You thinking about what Sheriff said? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. What are your plans now? You must have some idea of what you want to do. I can't say I do. I've not thought about it, I guess. You know, you don't have to stay in Clemency. You could go anywhere, really. Oh, yes, I would say I agree. Traveling is an incredible way to learn and to discover what kind of man you are. What kind of man? Indeed. It's easy when you're young to think you know the world. Think you know yourself well. That's what I thought before I went on my pilgrimage. The man who left Pennsylvania all those years ago is not the same man who arrived in Clemency. In fact, the man who arrived in Clemency and the man sitting at this bar now are not the same either. Convening with your fellow people gives you a great deal of clarity and substance to your character. I think I see what you mean. You knew what he meant, of course. You'd run with Curly for years now. Who were you when you left home? And who you are now are strangers to each other. You weren't sure if that person from years ago met you now, they'd be someone you'd wanted to know. It's not just yourself, either. You can learn a lot about someone else from traveling with them. Me and Matthew learned so much about each other on the trail, both good and the bad. I don't think you really know someone until you have had to share the same bed for weeks on end. It could be good for you and Joseph. Maybe. You could feel your cheeks turning red. Joseph had talked about riding east before, but that was more like running away at the time. What Bartholomew said stuck in your head. Do you even know Joseph? Do you really know him? You thought you did, but really, you've only just met. You don't really know that much about each other. While you may feel things for him, you never have for anyone else, and you've gone through hell and high water to be here together. Is that enough? Is that a reason to stick together? Do you want to know who he is? Do you want him to know who you are? You have no idea what the future holds. You have no idea about anything. You don't know Joseph. He doesn't know you either. You don't even know yourself. Tar was welling up in your chest, coating your insides, making you heavy. Breathing deep, tapping your fingers on the bar. It's too warm in here. Too many people. You need some air. You feeling all right, Kay? His words snapped you out of your thoughts, but the feeling remained. You nodded subtly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go outside, get some air. Giving them both a weak smile of reassurance, you left your drink on the bar and stepped away, passing strangers to head out the doors. The night air was refreshing as it cooled your head. You welcomed the chilled breeze from the desert that ruffled through your fur. You didn't hang around long on that saloon porch, walking away into the town, leaving behind the yellow light that spilled from its windows. You left the town too, past the sign that read its name, making your way up a path on the outskirts that brought you back to forlorn memories. Memories of feelings not unlike the ones you were harboring now. As you stood at the top of your climb on a far-off cliff, you took slow, deep breaths of the night air, filling your lungs, clearing your head. You wandered over to the cliff edge and gazed over the town, the light of the saloon stark against the inky dark. The desert was quiet, save for the whistle of the wind, carrying the chirp of insects. You crouched down and fell on your haunches, sitting and letting your legs hang over the edge of the cliff. I know that, he's having, an emo moment. He looks so cute. It was funny to think how many life-changing things have happened to you up here. Meeting Joseph, spending the night with him, sowing the seeds of your plans to be free. Was there some comfort to being up here, perhaps? Statement done. Fallen in fresh memories that calmed you, reminding you of why you were here. Still, there was a gnawing feeling on your heart, no matter how much you had hoped for there not to be. Why are you feeling like this? Why are you so worried? Why are you so scared? What's wrong with you? Shouldn't this freedom you have now be a good thing? Why does it feel like everything's coming crashing down around your ears? What about Joseph? Sweet Joseph, that you made a promise with. You let out a heavy sigh. You didn't expect to be weighed down with so many thoughts tonight. This was supposed to be a celebration. Now you were up here, away from everyone. Many contradictions running through your mind. Sorry, big yawn. That's always been your answer to things. Running away. The only time you didn't was because of that promise. How stupid can you be to choose to fight, and then to want to run away from everything you were fighting for? You probably run away from yourself if you could. Oh, no, you're perfect just the way you are. You just wish you could answer why. You sat for a little while. The wind up here was still a pleasant breeze. It blew past your head, cooling your warm ears, taking small grains of sand with it that floated off the cliff. Not thinking about much at all as you looked out into the night, at the distant, dark blue silhouettes of hills. Howdy, stranger. What brings you out here? You were drawn from your trance by Joseph's voice all of a sudden. You were so out of it you hadn't even heard him approach. You turned and looked up at him. He was standing a few paces away, his beer in one hand, your whiskey in the other. Mind if I join you? You nodded at the ground, letting him know he could come sit. He walked over to you and lowered himself carefully to sit next to you, keeping the drink steady. Damn, I ain't gonna help him with the drinks? He held your whiskey glass out to you by his fingers, and you took it as he put it on your palm. Thanks. No problem. So, like I said, what brings you out here? He absent-mindedly scratched the side of your glass with a blunt claw as you thought of your answer. I just needed some air. Yeah, it was a little stuffy in that saloon. If you ask me, we did Bartholomew a favor breaking some windows, air out the place. You giggled a little at that. He was so good at making you feel better. How are you always so charming? Seems to come easy to you. He looks a little bashful at that comment, scratching his head, unsure what to say. I don't know. I just picked it up over time, I guess. Helps you get out of fights and whatnot. Yeah, that makes sense. You feeling all right? Didn't say anything when you left. Sorry, I didn't want to bother you during your poker game. You thought about what you wanted to say, but so many things vied for your tongue. Everything swelled up inside you. Chest fit to burst. You didn't know if you could admit how you were feeling to him. It almost felt too personal. It felt too wrong, too harsh. I feel strange. That's the simplest way I can put it. He looked at you a moment, eyebrow cocked, unimpressed. Lay it on me. Huh? Lay it on me. I want to know what you're thinking. I know you've got stuff on your mind you ain't telling me. You blew through your lips with a sigh, thinking about whether you should. He was right after all. You don't have to hide how you feel anymore. If you were honest, you didn't want to keep hiding it. I'm scared, I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Everyone at the saloon was asking about plans, and I realized I don't have any. I didn't think that far ahead. Now we're here, and I don't know what to do. I feel like an animal that's been let out of its cage and gotten lost in the wilderness. But what are you scared of? What's the worst thing that could happen? I don't know. That's why I'm scared. What if I do the wrong thing or make the wrong decision? What if I decide to settle down in clemency, like the sheriff said, and I don't like it? Where would I go? I have so much of my life... I've had so much of my life wasted running with Curly. I don't want to lose more of it to a bad decision. I've made too many of those. I don't want to waste my life either. We can make those choices together now, though. We can turn over a new leaf. I know we could, but I'm worried about you, too. I was talking with Jacob and Bartholomew, and I realized I don't really know you. I don't know anything about you. You don't know me either. Joseph's face was solemn. He just stared into your eyes like he was trying to unpick some meaning from your expression. I've done horrible things, Joseph. So have I. I don't know that I like the person I've become after Curly. I don't trust myself. He did what you needed to stay alive. You don't have to like it. You were growing frustrated with his rebuttals, like he wasn't listening to you. You twisted your body round, one leg up, facing him head on. I love you, and I'm scared of hurting you. I'm scared that the man that could hurt Curly is the same man that could hurt you. I'm scared that if we really knew each other, we wouldn't be here in the first place. The wind whistled in your ears. Joseph's face was still, period. Eyes squinted a little, contemplating your words. A few moments passed before he opened his beak to speak. I love you too. And I'm not scared of you. I want to find out who you are and hope I have the courage to let you find out who I am. I'm scared as hell too. I know what you mean now that I'm free of the gang. I don't know what to do with myself. All I know is I want to be with you. Maybe we'll make bad choices, but who cares? You helped show me that I don't have to live my life in fear, Kay. I think if we're scared, it means we have our heads screwed on right. But it doesn't have to stop us from living. We can make whatever mistakes we want. We can stay in clemency forever. We can go traveling in the country. I don't give a hoot. Tonight ain't the night to worry about the rest of your life. Whatever happens to us, if I can kiss your face at the end of the day, then everything will be all right. What a cutie pie. Yeah, I need a partner like that. I'm like, what? My life's over. And they're like, no, you're fine. It's okay. Pat, pat. That's so real. A great wave of relief washed over you as Joseph spoke. He didn't realize how much you needed to hear that from him. A kiss and a prayer? He laughed. Yeah, on a kiss and a prayer, we'll be just fine. The story of our lives, huh? He leaned in and pecked you on the cheek, bringing a blush of warmth to them even that the night breeze could not cool. Seems pretty good to me. Now, come on, let's get back down there and have a good time. I think someone said they're gonna dust off that old piano and play us a tune. He made to stand up, but she reached out, placing her hand over his. Wait, is it alright if we just sit here a little longer? Then we can go down? It's a nice night is all. He smiled, his eyes softly tilting to the sky, looking to the stars. Sure is. You want to stay here a spell? That's just fine by me. As he settled back down, he scooted over closer to you, shoulder to shoulder, and you tilted your head to rest on him. You slipped your hand into his, and he held yours tightly, squeezing back between your fingers. The night may be cold, but he was all the warmth you needed. You spent so long looking out for yourself, looking out for people who didn't care about you. Now you can look out for each other. That's so cute! Yay! This was a really cute story. Yay! The end! Yeah! It's so cute. It was really cute. I'm glad it was longer than 10 minutes. When it was like at the 10-minute mark, I was like, no! Damn it! I'm an idiot! I was like, I have to kill myself now. That was so cutie. That was so cutie. I love those little stories like that. They're so pooky. Rah, 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 rah. Rah, rah, rah. That was really all I thought. I know sometimes I give my opinions on games. Most of the time I don't. And generally I only do if I like have a lot of anger towards a game. And I'm like, I promise I didn't hate it. I just, I have feelings. But that was so cute. I enjoyed that so much. Yay! All the love to our friends and family and partners who supported us and made it possible for us to make this gay little game. You mean the world to us. Heart. That's so cutie. Yeah! I love that. That's so princess. Oh, that's the end. Thank you for playing Lookouts. This has been a huge project for both of us, and we're super proud and happy we've been able to share it with you after so long. If you enjoyed the game, please leave a comment or rating on Itch.io, Twitter, whatever. We love hearing from people about their time with the game. If you'd like to support us so we can keep making games, you should check out the paid Golden Edition. Hey. The Gold Edition comes with a bunch of stuff. Ooh. Hell yeah. Thank you for playing the game from the bottom of our hearts. You can click the button that'll pop up to restart the game. Ah, that was so cute. That was so cute. So, if I remember, and if I don't, someone crucify me. There will be the link to the page for this game in the description. You can play yourself or just support them. Either way, it's so cute. Ah, that's it. I hope you had so much fun. Maybe as much fun as I had, maybe more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.